What's up, crypto fam? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on? What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? We'll wait for some people to pop on here. But I got some things I got to say. Got some things I've got to say. What's happening, everybody? Just doing my Saturday stuff. What's going on, guys? I just had some thoughts I wanted to share with some people. How we doing, guys? How we doing? Let's go. Let's go. Happy Saturday. How are we? How are we? I'm great. I'm fantastic. But I think it's really important that we talk about some things and narratives that are happening right now with XRP, with crypto, with Trump, because I'm seeing so many, quite frankly, terrible takes right now in the market. And I'm telling you guys, this is the time where a lot of people are going to get left behind. A lot of people are going to miss out because they're looking at this all wrong. And this is going to make more sense once we dive into this a little bit. But welcome, guys. Double tap the screen, hit the like button, let people know we're here. What's happening? What's happening, y'all? So, obviously, I make videos every single day. I make videos on crypto, on YouTube, on all platforms every single day. And I'm really seeing this narrative right now that, quite frankly, to me, is just wrong. It's the wrong take. And I want to talk about it, guys. I want to give you guys my thoughts on the market a little bit. But really just dive into what people aren't seeing right now. So there's this growing sentiment like that what Trump's doing is bad for crypto. And so many people have this unrealistic expectation of, you know, crypto should be pumping. You said crypto should be pumping. Donald Trump should, you know, be pumping crypto and all of this, right? And everybody had these unrealistic expectations. Like that was the biggest issue. People had unrealistic expectations. People want everything to just go parabolic overnight. Everybody wants to become a millionaire overnight. It just doesn't work like that, guys. And what Trump's doing right now, it's not about today or tomorrow for crypto. It's not about a quick pump. You know, he just pardoned some people from the BITUNIX, case yesterday, including Arthur Hayes, including some really big, well-known figures in the space. And every time we talk about some big news that Trump's doing, everybody's like, well, why isn't it pumping crypto? Why is my portfolio still down? I don't understand. What's happening? It's because Trump is playing the long game here, guys. Trump is playing the long game. And what he's doing is setting the stage for the next several years and beyond. And if you don't see that, you've got a couple things you got to consider. A, what is your time horizon? Are you really in crypto for the long term? Or are you here to make quick money? And I think so many people are here just to make quick money, and they're failing to see the big headline here, the big storyline. And to me, I'm here for the next 5 to 10 years, beyond and beyond. And I see what's happening right now. I see what's happening in terms of what Trump is implementing. The fact that they're even having conversations about crypto, guys, is massive. Our last regime didn't even talk about crypto ever. The XRP case is basically over. We've got basically the new SEC dropping all the previous lawsuits against all the big crypto companies. Do you understand that this is a big, big deal? They are resetting the program. They are resetting the entire industry. And I know short term, it feels like, you know, the market should be pumping. But here's the thing, guys. We went up parabolically. parabolically in 2024. And this is the biggest issue in crypto. The biggest issue in crypto is people don't have patience. They all want to get rich quick. And they don't have conviction. They just literally ape into random things and hope because everybody else is doing it that they're going to make money. You've got to do your research. You've got to have conviction. You got to have patience. And you got to have a freaking plan. And if you look at this holistically, what Trump's doing, this is setting the stage for growth into the future. So what do you think the institutions are going to do? What do you think the institutions are going to buy? That is where I'm choosing to put my money. I'm choosing to put my money in the blue chip assets right now. It's not a meme coin cycle right now. Listen, I love meme coins. They're going to have their day again, but it's not right now. It's not right now for meme coins. It's just not. And I'm just being real with you guys. And so many people will feed you a bunch of BS and tell you otherwise, but I'm here to tell you this is an institutionally driven market right now. So front running the institutions is how I'm planning to create wealth in this market. That is what I'm choosing to do. And because I see the bigger picture here, because I see the long game, I'm buying assets like XRP, Ondo, HBAR, Chainlink. Of course, I buy Bitcoin every single day. This is a strategy for me for the long term, okay? Crypto, to me, is a great strategy to deploy alongside stocks, alongside building businesses, alongside real estate. It is a wealth creating tool. That is what crypto is to me. Guys, double tap the screen if you haven't already. We got a bunch of people watching, not even 100 likes. That's asinine. And subscribe to the channel. Come on. It's totally free to subscribe. So hit the subscribe button. I just wanted to come on here raw because I'm just so frustrated right now with people's sentiment. And I don't want to see people leave this market and come back when it's too late. That's what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to leave because they think crypto should be pumping right now. They're going to get frustrated or they're going to over leverage themselves. They're going to get washed out of the market. And then when the market starts to pump like crazy, guess what happens? They're going to ape back in and realize why they don't have the big gains that everybody else does. Because you didn't have patience. You didn't have conviction. You didn't have a plan. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. This market rewards the people who are able to stomach the volatility, buy on the red days, have conviction, have patience, period. That is how this market works. It doesn't reward people who want to get rich quick. It doesn't reward people who are negative, who love to throw shade, who look at it short-sightedly, who are literally just here for a get-rich-quick moment. It doesn't reward those people. Period. Jim, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Or super sticker. Appreciate you, bro. That's just what it is, man. And that's a fact, okay? So you can ask anybody who's been in crypto the last 4 or 5 years. You can ask anybody, how have they made money? I mean, let's take XRP, for example. How did people make money in XRP? Just this most recent kind of, let's just call it the last year or two, the last couple years. How did you make money in XRP? You bought when it was 50 cents, when nobody was buying, when the sentiment was low, when everybody was scared, when everybody was fearful. You bought it 50 cents and you did a 6X in a month and a half when it exploded. Now, I'm not saying you can't buy XRP today, at $2 and some change and make money. All I'm saying is there's going to be patience involved for this next leg up. We did a 6X. We did a 6X from 50 cents to over $3. How did people make money in SHIB? How did people make money in pepe? How did people make money in ethereum? They bought when sentiment was low, when it was very risky, but they had conviction and they had patience. It's the same thing. over and over and over and over and over again. And Marty, you can throw the Z's out there, whatever, dude. I don't care. I've won in crypto. I'm telling you, as a winner in crypto, and I've lost in crypto too. So you could take it or leave it. But I'm seeing all these comments today and in this past week. This is another BS video. This doesn't mean anything. This partnership doesn't mean shit. Well, it doesn't mean shit if you want to freaking pump in 24 hours. If you're just here to, for a lottery ticket, yeah, it doesn't mean shit. But I'm not. I'm here for the long term. I'm playing the long game. And I've done it the last 5 years. And when I've won big. I was buying H-bar at 4 or 5 cents. What happened when it went to 25, 30 cents? I took profits. And made money. It's very fucking simple, guys. But people don't want to hear it because they just want you to make them rich right now. And if you don't, you're a no good piece of shit. So you can ask anybody who's won in crypto. You've got to be able to stomach the volatility. You've got to have patience, and you've got to buy low, buy when nobody's buying. Sentiment's relatively low right now. I mean, it's nowhere near where we were like post FTX or 2023, but sentiment is relatively low. And guess what? A lot of people are checking out when they should be fucking checking in. And I'm just being real with you guys. I'm just being real. You can take it or leave it. I don't care. But you should subscribe to this channel if you want real content. And, I'm making all these videos about all this news that's related to the next 4 or 5 years down the road. Things like pardons. Things like, committees actually being formed, talking about what's a security, what's a commodity. Lawsuits being dropped, precedents being set in crypto, finally in the United States. And everybody's like, but Zach, my bags aren't pumping. I'm still down. You're a liar. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm sick and tired of it. And I'm frustrated because I want to reach through the phone and grab those people and tell them, do you want to make money or not? What are you here for? Do you want to make money in crypto? Because if you do, that attitude and that sentiment and that strategy, it's not going to work. You're not going to make it. Period. So it is what it is, man. The moral of the story is this. Everybody's not going to win. But part of my duty as a crypto content creator, whatever, I don't like the word influencer, whatever. I'm just a dude on YouTube, guys, that got into crypto, that had a broadcasting background, that's documenting my experience, covering the news. I'm just a regular guy like you guys. So I don't like the whole influencer thing, okay? But part of this, I lost my train of thought. I'm going off here. I'm having a morning. All right, I've been up for a while, and I don't know, man. This was just on my head, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just go. Brent, same old song. Buy the dip. It's a shakeout. Blah blah blah. Yeah, same old song, but that song fucking hits. It works. Brent, the song works when you buy the dip in good plays. The song hits every single time it plays. Buy the dip during the shakeout when sentiment's low. That's how you make money, Brent. That's how you make money. So you could sit here and say, oh, you say the same thing every single day and nothing changes. Well, yeah, if you're looking at it on an hourly or daily perspective, that's the wrong mindset. That's what I'm trying to tell people. I've been buying Bitcoin, guys, every single day since 2022, since April 2022. You think I'm up on that investment? That's years, not weeks, not months, years. Years. And it's ridiculous. And I'm frustrated, but it's coming from a good place, guys. All right? It's coming from a good place because I hate to see people lose. And I'm seeing all of these people coming in and commenting the way they are, and I'm like, you're not going to make it if you don't see what we see. Anybody who sees this as a long game, they're fucking winning, guys. They're fucking winning. Okay? As bad as Cardano's price is right now, let me give you another example. hit the like button too if you haven't already, okay? Hit the like button. I need my charger on my laptop. Hold on. And thank you, Jim, for the other super chat, bro. I see that. I appreciate you, bro. Let me give you another example, though, because, you know, people like examples, right? They like examples. Okay. Let me give you another example. When everybody and their brother was running for the hills when Cardano was at 25 cents, guess who was making videos saying they were buying Cardano at 25 cents? Now, as bad as Cardano looks today, under 70 cents, if you were buying at 25 cents, you're winning. You're up money. This is what I mean. But nobody was watching back then because everybody runs away when things get bad. When things get tough, people run away. Well, that's how you lose. That's how you lose at crypto. That's how you lose at life. When things get hard, what are you going to do? Run away? Go and bitch, moan, and complain about how Trump's not helping crypto? Guys, be patient. The whole tariffs thing is playing out. As long as you're looking at this over the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to win. You're going to win. As long as you're invested in the right things. Now, if you're invested in, you know, turtleneck Inu and all these meme coins and you're over leveraging yourself, there's no guarantee you're going to win in the next 5, 10 years. I don't know. But if you're buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Ondo, HBAR, things that actually Chainlink, things that actually have utility, and you're planning to be here for the next 5 to 10 years, this is a massive freaking opportunity. Massive opportunity. I can't sit and relax, dude. I'm frustrated, man. I'm frustrated, and I wanted to get it out, man, because I feel like I can help some people. And you can't save everybody, you know? Everybody can't be saved. There's going to be winners and there's going to be losers. It is what it is. But I could do my best. I could do my best, right? Brent says, thank Trump. Yeah, thank Trump. Yeah, you want to thank Trump? Because when Trump got in, Bitcoin went from 68,000 to 110,000. Thank Trump for that. You must not have been invested. And I'm not coming at you, Brent, but this is my point. I don't know if you're being facetious here, but that's my point. The market pumped like crazy. Were you not allocated? Were you not buying? You must have not have been. You must have bought it at the top. You must have FOMO'd in and did the wrong thing. Don't do that. That's my point. That's my point. All these people that are bitching, moaning, complaining, they were buying Bitcoin at the top at 110,000. That's not how you win in crypto. You buy it before and you ride the wave up and you take profits. And then when sentiment gets low again, like it is now, you DCA your way to victory again. And you repeat the process over and over and over. Don't overthink it. It's very simple. It's very simple. But all the people who are frustrated and complaining and, you know, I guarantee there's a common denominator, okay? And here it is. They bought at the top and or they didn't take profits when they should have. That's it. And now they got to take it out on somebody else because they can't look at themselves in the mirror and say, you know what? I should have been better than that. I should have had a different strategy. Nope, instead, let's blame everybody else for our mistakes. You're not going to win like that. Sorry. I mean, it just is what it is. And again, anybody who's a winner in crypto will tell you that this is straight facts. Will tell you that this is true. And so again, this is why, you know, I do what I do every single day. And, you know, if you haven't subscribed yet, if you're just popping on here, you don't know who I am. I've been here long enough. I'm still learning every single day. I don't have it all figured out, guys. But I've been here long enough and I've won in crypto. I do this full time, okay? I'm not just coming out here, you know, renting a Maserati and say, look at me. When like, first off, that's not me. My point is, I've done decently well and I'm well positioned for when this market bounces back to do extremely well, based on what I've learned from coming in 2020 and 2021 and going through the ringer, making mistakes. And that's just, you know, that's just the point, okay? And again, I'm not coming out here saying I've got it all figured out. I've won every trade. I haven't. I've lost. I've lost more money in crypto than I've won in some respects. Like leaving money on the table, round tripping bags, right? Like, full transparency. Like, I'm not perfect, guys. Not perfect at all. Like, I clearly have made mistakes in crypto. But based on those experiences, I've learned and I've adapted and I've changed my strategy. Right? I mean, that's the only way forward. If you keep making the same mistakes over and over, you're going to get the same results. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. You ever hear that? So, you know, that's what it is, man. Zach, what you buying in the dips? Okay, so I'll take some questions, guys, but go ahead and hit that like button, double tap the screen for us, and subscribe to the channel. I want to see us at least climb, you know, 20 new subscribers as I'm answering questions here, at least, or 30 or 40, I don't know. Just if you want, it's totally free, but yeah. So which assets am I buying here? Okay, I'll tell you. The assets that I'm prioritizing right now, dollar cost averaging, I'm buying Bitcoin every single day. Ethereum under 2K is interesting, but I've already got my position in Ethereum. You know, back when it was 800, 1200, 1300, I've got my position there, so I'm really not going there right now. Now, if ETH drops a lot more, gets back down to that 1500 range, then I'll become a buyer. But again, that's specific to where I'm at right now, my strategy, etc. XRP. Anytime XRP gets down below $2, okay, I become a buyer. We've seen it dip down below $2 a couple different times, and it usually bounces pretty hard. I'm doing a couple things with XRP when it gets down to those levels. I'm adding to my long-term bag, and I'm also taking short leverage positions. I forgot to put my monetization on my live stream. Damn it. Okay. So, yeah, I'm doing a couple different things there, okay? Now, Solana, it's getting down to that range that I like. Right around 125, 126 right here. I like to accumulate here. Now, could it go a little bit lower? Potentially. You know, we just saw it dip here in the last day down to like 124, but it bounced. And the lowest we've been in the last month was like 114. But in terms of a DCA strategy, anywhere in this like 120, 125 range on Solana, to me, I like it. Dogecoin, I was buying it under 10 cents. I'm just kind of holding the line there. Cardano, again, I was buying it at 25 cents. I've got a decent position. I've got enough Cardano right now. Cardano would have to drop under 50 cents for me to get interested again. Everything is getting down to the levels I like right now. SWI's down to 232. Anytime it gets down near 230, I mean, we've seen it bounce off this, you know, pretty hard a couple different times. And again, there's no guarantee that we can't go a little bit lower. That's why I'm DCAing. Always, always, always keeping cash on the sidelines. I'm never full clipping. I'm never putting I always want to have some stable coins on deck because you just never know. You just never know. But in terms of dollar cost averaging, I mean, there's a lot to like. I like it. I saw Caspa come up there quite a bit. Ondo right now is at a very interesting price. It's under 80 cents. It's under 80 cents. What's up, Oscar? What's up, brother? I just flipped around and showed you my tree over there. Here, you want to see my tree? Hey, there you go. Where's Paid at? Paid loves to see the tree. Okay. But anyway. Oh, here's another one that I just bought more of today. And I'm slowly but surely building out a pretty nice position. We are on the low end of this asset, and I like it a lot. You ready? BITUNIX Tau down to 226. Not financial advice, but I absolutely love it. At 226, BITUNIX Tau. Algorand under 20 cents. I like it. I mean, there's so many things. The whole gaming narrative right now, I'm not touching it. I'm underwater in a couple gaming plays right now. It's just not the season for it. We need to get like full-fledged altcoin season. And where I think the capital is going to go into the altcoins is the ISO plays again. Like we had that little mini run with XRP and algorand and HBAR and XLM. I think that capital is going to flow right back in there when liquidity comes back. That's where I think that money is going to go. Chainlink hasn't moved. Avalanche hasn't moved. I'd rather put my money there right now. I'm accumulating Chainlink, Avalanche, HBAR, Ondo, XRP, XLM. I did open up a position recently in Plume, another RWA play. I do like Plume. It's gaining some steam. And right now it's down to 16 cents. I bought it at 17 a couple days ago. I told my subscribers over on X where I bought it. And I'm looking at it maybe to add a little bit more, even today or throughout the weekend. So, a lot of people this weekend frustrated. They're running for the hills. I'm doing the exact opposite, guys. I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm locking the fuck in, okay? And because I've been patient, always have some cash on the sidelines, and that's different for everybody depending on where you are in your journey. I get that, but this is why. This is why you do it, okay? I like AI coins, BITUNIX Tau, and a few others, near protocols at the top there, BITUNIX. I still like Injective and Render, but right now, BITUNIX Tau is the one that I'm really prioritizing in the AI sector. And, I think some of these AI agents are going to come back too. I just don't know if the season is here yet for AI to really go. We need liquidity really back in the market. And I think the whole AI narrative will pick back up. I do some TA, nothing crazy, man. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a crazy technical analyst or anything like that. I know enough to be dangerous, but I use my trading indicator. I use my XT algo, and that allows me to find, really good entries and exit points. And, I had it built by somebody who's phenomenal at technical analysis. I'd rather rely on somebody who does that, way better than I do, have them build me something and use that. So, and TA for me, it's an important factor, but it's not the only factor. There are some people who disagree, who would say, hey, you just got to go off the technicals. For me, I like fundamentals. I like, the psychological aspects of where the market is, looking at liquidity, looking at volume. So I'm much more fundamental in my approach, and I'm playing the long game anyway, so I don't do a ton of day trading. I do a little bit of leverage trading when certain assets get way down, especially down below like 200-day moving averages, where I've seen things bounce off of that before, like XRP. So I do have some exchanges linked down below if you're interested in that. Check it out. BTCC's down there, and then BITUNIX are the two exchanges I'm partnered up with on that end, if you are a trader. And again, I've got XT Algo. If you guys are interested in that, use the discount code. It's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Phenomenal tool. It works. We've got hundreds of people using it. I launched it back in 2023. It's a great, great tool. I call it the Walmart of indicators. It's very easy to use. I walk you through how to set it all up. You can set your customized alerts, make trades while you're on the go. You could try it risk-free for 30 days. So highly encourage you guys to check that out if you're serious about crypto, serious about investing. I tested it out, used it myself before I brought it to market. I absolutely love it. It could be used for stocks as well, crypto and stocks. But yeah, so that answers, I think, some questions, right? Like, I'm not overthinking this, but like when really solid assets are getting down certain levels, I'm a buyer. I like XLM1. I like XLM. XLM tends to run more than XRP when XRP runs, okay? and it's more of the peer-to-peer side rather than the business-to-business side, I like XLM. XLM had a big run though. Keep in mind, XLM had a big run when XRP was doing its thing. You had XRP, XLM, HBAR, Ondo made a run, Algorand made a big run. All those ISO plays made a run. XDC is another one. Oh, Ondo under 80 cents. Absolutely love it. I like SWE still too. SWE's still the new kid on the block. Hasn't seen a full-fledged altcoin cycle bull run yet. I still like SWE. Appreciate the super chats. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Guys, double tap the screen if you haven't already. Hit that like button for us. Literally, it's just a double tap and run that baby up over 300. I know we can get that done. But yeah, man, I'm just frustrated. I want to come on and talk with you guys a little bit on this Saturday morning and just, get some things off my chest, And again, I pay attention to the sentiment. I pay attention to where people are, and I've been seeing it for weeks, and I had to come on here and just address it. These mindsets and this way of thinking that you want to get rich quick, you're not going to do it. You're going to lose with this mentality. You're going to lose. So you got to have a long-term vision, guys. And you got to buy assets you actually believe in. Not because somebody told you to do it, not because, you think you can, become a millionaire with it or whatever. You have to understand what you're buying, why you're buying, and buy when nobody else is. Buy on the red because you have conviction and you've done your homework. You've done your research. Carlos, to that point, I don't even know what bear bull is anymore. Markets. Maybe the 4-year cycles are essentially gone with all of the institutional money. I know one thing. I love what's happening from a, regulatory standpoint. And so, Carlos, if I have to wait 3 months to see gains, 6 months to see gains, 9 months, 12 months, I'm here, baby. I ain't freaking leaving. So I really don't care. I just buy when I think things are undervalued, right? And again, where I've got to now is I have a Bitcoin strategy. I buy Bitcoin every single day. I've been doing it since April 2022. I've stacked Bitcoin. I make that 60 to 70% of my portfolio because that to me is the only asset that I know for sure is going to be here in the next decade, at least right now. And then I have an altcoin strategy. So I don't care. I don't care if we're bear or bull. I don't care. I don't care how long it's going to, I don't care. I'm not going anywhere. This is a strategy and a market where I think there's a ton of potential and there's going to be some big winners. And all I need to have is a few of these winners. They don't all have to be winners. That's the secret here. Yeah, I don't know so much about the super cycle and all of it. I don't know. I mean, who knows? I don't try to even guess because nobody knows, including myself. And if anybody sits there and says they know exactly, what's going to happen, don't listen to those people. They have no idea. There's no way to know. I agree, Jason. I agree 100%. The crypto market is seeing the effect of institutional money for the first time. Why the cycle is so odd, retail and whales are being phased out. Well, I don't think retail and whales are being phased out. I think retail is just in a place where they don't have a lot of liquidity. They're frustrated. And a lot of them bought at the top. They got washed out by the Trump coin or something, or they got over leveraged in meme coins. And they don't have any money left. That's what I think. And the institutions, yeah, they're here and they're manipulating the market. Here's the thing with the institutions that a lot of people don't realize, okay? Here's the thing that people don't talk enough about. A lot of these buys that are coming from the institutional side, they're over-the-counter deals. So what does that mean? Over-the-counter deals. They're not having the price impact. But eventually, because BlackRock is buying up all this supply of Bitcoin, because MicroStrategy is buying up all this supply of Bitcoin, there's going to be a supply shock eventually. When will that be? I don't know. But I know it's going to happen at some point. When governments start putting Bitcoin on their strategic reserve, on their balance sheets, when companies start doing this, when countries... So time horizon, I don't know. But this is why I buy Bitcoin every single day and why it's the biggest part of my strategy. And then great altcoins can exponentially increase your portfolio. You know, I love XRP. Absolutely love it. They don't have a lot of competition. They solve some big issues. They fit within the RWA narrative. So I'm being strategic in which altcoins I'm going after. But in terms of Bitcoin, there's going to be a major supply shock at some point. There's going to be a major supply shock at some point. Hold on, I'm going to grab my iced coffee. Hold on. So on the 2nd of April, Donald Trump is going to reveal what he's actually going to do with tariffs. So some of these countries, you know, are going to be hit harder than others. I don't know exactly how this is going to play out, but it's a day that I think we'll see some volatility. If tariffs aren't as serious as he's projecting, I think we'll see the market pump. If tariffs come in and it's like crazy and there's a ton of them, we'll probably get another dump. But again, do you have capital on the sideline? Are you positioned for this? This is what we're saying, right? I think algo has a great chance to be around in the next 4 years. They're doing a lot with the RWA sector that people don't realize. There's a company called Lofty on algorand. Very, very interesting in terms of real estate, tokenizing real estate, right? And retail investors can actually earn yield through the tokenization of real estate from big real estate investors. So you can like invest in them essentially. There's a lot of interesting things happening on algorand, and it's a really good blockchain. You know, it just needs this whole transition to happen, right? And so you got to play the long game on some of these. But anything that fits the ISO narrative, anything that fits the RWA narrative, US based, I like it right now. You know, and it's a speculative bet. Anything outside of Bitcoin is speculative. And there's varying levels to, you know, that speculation. Oh yeah, Charles, me and Oscar are definitely cool, man. The issue is Oscar lives down in Texas, far away from me. But he came to my neck of the woods and we meet up at conferences all the time. I'm cool with a lot of the big creators. Me and Austin are still cool, me and Oscar. Just grab some Ondo under 80 cents. Hey man, I mean, you know how I feel about that. You know how I feel about that. That'll be interesting, Cody, what they do with taxes. That'll be interesting. Cronos is looking good, man. They got a bright future. They definitely got a bright future now, moving forward. IO, Luke. IO. Guys, double tap the screen if you haven't already. I'm looking for some good questions, some good Q&A. What do you guys got? Hit me. Subscribe to the channel too, man. Subscribe to the channel and double tap the screen. Do you prefer Ondo over Algo? I've got more Ondo than Algo in terms of my portfolio for sure, but I like them both. How's the weather? Nice. What do you think about XCN, Zach? Interesting play. You know, it's a little bit more risky, lower market cap, but fits the narratives that I like right now, for sure. This is the time to set up your bags. 100%, Joe. That's what I'm saying. I'm a new subscriber, been chiming in the past few days. What's up, Shane? Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Zach, do you think SEC released official statements soon on case dismissed, settled? I don't know if the SEC will actually ever come out and do that. You know, like, I think they're a little butthurt. That's my opinion. I don't know. I mean, do we need it to happen? I don't think so. I mean, once the fine is paid and it's done, I'm sure there's going to be some kind of report out there. But will they actually come out and say it themselves? I don't know. I don't think it matters. I think some of that was priced in, you know, with the lawsuit. I think the next big wave for XRP is ETFs. Having the lawsuit cleared will help, but ETFs, and we need liquidity. And then obviously the adoption by big banks. And then how deep does Ripple go into RWA? So there's a lot of things I'm watching there, right? So ETFs, getting the big institutions and big banks, and the RWA narrative. I think these are the next few catalysts for XRP, in my opinion. Thoughts on Jupe and Aerodrome? I don't own any Jupiter. I've traded it here and there. I do own some Aerodrome, and I bought it relatively low, and I know that price has been tanking. But I believe in the base chain. I think the base chain is going to do some interesting things. They have a freaking huge leg up because of Coinbase, you know, on the retail side. They could bring a lot of people on chain with base. It's just going to be, how do they roll it out? You know, is it a seamless thing? Can they get people over there in droves? I mean, they got a great opportunity to do it, though. What's your thoughts on Move and Say? I know a little bit about them. I don't own either one, though. You got to prioritize somewhere, you know. Solar Guy, April 2nd is all going to depend on what it actually looks like. You know, how serious is Trump about these tariffs? And again, if it is something where it tanks the market and people get afraid, to me, it's another opportunity. Because eventually what tariffs are going to do, here's the thing. What tariffs are going to do for the United States is good down the road. It's going to put jobs back in America. It's going to put money back into America. Eventually, if this plays out the way Trump wants it to with tariffs, it's a way to save money. What they're doing with Doge, it's a way to save money. For a long time, the United States has been basically adding to their debt every single year. Every single year, the debt clock just, you know, ticks and ticks and ticks and goes up and up and up. Eventually, if we can get to a point where we can have a surplus, this is why they're saying things like no income tax or less taxes, or every family household under a certain dollar amount is going to get this check or whatever. Because they're projecting by how much money they could save, the United States can eventually be at a surplus. Now, will that happen this year? Probably not. But remember, Trump's in here for the next 4 years. And so if we can get this to a point where we are creating a surplus in the United States and there's more money to go around, which is what he said, that money, if it goes back to the American people, then that money could come into the crypto market. Now people actually, you know, could afford to live and have excess funds to invest. Couple that with Donald Trump making crypto safe again, putting actual guidelines and guardrails up. You see what I'm saying here? This is the long-term vision here, the long-term game. It's not about today or tomorrow. It's not about today or tomorrow. So this kind of fits into my whole rant that I've been talking about here throughout the stream. But again, you got to give this thing time to play out. Jim, thanks again, man, for the super sticker. Appreciate you. Where do you see SHIB in the future? It's all going to depend on Ethereum, brother. Corey, it's all going to depend on Ethereum. Jason, the only thing I'm planning right now, today, that I can say with confidence for holding the next, holding an asset for the next 10 years is Bitcoin. Other than that, I'm looking to trade altcoins. I'm not married to any of them, okay? So, and I don't say that, people like, oh, you're fudding and blah, blah. No, it just is what it is. That's a smart strategy because we don't know what's going to be here. You know, when XRP went from 50 cents to over $3, I took some profits, okay? And a lot of people in my position won't just tell you that. When HBAR made a run, I took some profits. When Solana made its run, I took 50% off the table, guys, back into stablecoin. And guess what I'm able to do now with half of those profits? Buy the dip. It's going back into the market. It's recycling. That's the thing that people don't talk about. I've round-tripped bags, and so many of the crypto influencers will just say, buy, hodl, buy, hodl, buy, hodl, buy, hodl. What about selling? What about taking profits? At some point, you got to take profits if you really want to position yourself in a way to win. So I did really good on Solana meme coins, okay? And when Solana got close to that top, now I didn't time the top perfectly, but I started, as it came down to like 220, 210, I took half my Solana off the table. Half of my Solana right off the table. And look where it is now. Now we're able to buy it at $125. But again, a lot of people won't tell you this. A lot of the YouTubers out there, you know, just buy, just buy, just buy. There's got to be a profit-taking strategy. And with Bitcoin, it's different. I'm literally just buying Bitcoin. Have no sell plan yet. It's the only asset in the cryptocurrency market that I don't have a sell plan yet. To me, Bitcoin is a 401k on steroids. That's liquid, that I control, that I own. Outside of that, there's always a price where I'm going to be taking some profits. And will that capital flow back into that asset, you know, again? Yeah, potentially. You know, when it gets back down to lower levels, when sentiment gets low again, you know, when everybody's running for the hills and, you know, call it a bear market hits or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, for sure. That money could come back in. I know there's a lot of questions, guys. I'm trying to get to as many of them as I can. How come you don't have your normal lipstick on? Eric, I don't know what it is, but people say I have lipstick on all the time. I could promise you one thing, brother. I do not wear lipstick. I just have really nice lips, dude. I just have really nice lips. So, I don't, you know, it's tough out here, dude. I just have some luscious lips, man. People say Bitcoin will be obsolete. You don't think so? No, no. No, and here's the thing. I know a lot of people on the XRP side say, you know, Bitcoin will be dead, and I just don't see it. I think they're going to coexist. I think you're going to have Bitcoin and a lot of other things. To me, Bitcoin's not transactional, though. That's what hurts Bitcoin. But it doesn't have to be in order for it to be a huge store of value in the new digital gold. That's what I think it is. I don't think the Lightning Network is really going to be the payment, you know, gateway. XRP could be, though. XRP could be. XLM could work with XRP again at some point, right? That's where I think Ripple has a stable coin now. Like this market needs different assets to do different things, especially when you're talking about tokenization. Like look what Ondo's doing. They're partnered with Ripple, by the way. Ondo's doing what? They're tokenizing US treasuries and equities. Everything in the financial system is going to be tokenized at some point, right? Bitcoin doesn't really help that. So there's going to be some other big players, and it's trying to parse all that out and find which one it's going to be, right? That's kind of where I'm at. So, Travis, what's up, man? If Ripple IPOs, will you buy their stock? Well, Garlinghouse just went on Bloomberg and said that they're not looking for an IPO right now. They're more concerned with mergers and acquisitions. So I would look at it for sure, Andy, if Ripple IPOs. I mean, they're a massive company. They've got huge, huge potential. But I'm going to go with what Garlinghouse is saying right now, that's not a concern of theirs. That's not something they're looking at right now. Bitcoin has value, Jason, in my opinion, because nobody controls it. It has a fixed supply. It's completely decentralized. And yeah, people have assigned value to it. And governments have now assigned value to it, right? Major corporations have assigned value to it. But what makes Bitcoin, I think, very unique is that it is essentially a new form of gold that's hard capped. And so because of that, and it's proof of work too, right? So it's mined. What makes it interesting is at some point you're going to have a supply and a demand shock happen at the same time. And that's why it's been the best performing asset over the next decade, because you've had this, adoption rate that continues to increase. And the way Bitcoin's designed, where nobody controls it, it's labeled a commodity already, right? So you don't have the security concerns at all. And, I think some people still want to say that, they buy it for the Lightning Network and the, payments. I don't want to spend my Bitcoin though. Why would people want to spend their gold? You hold your gold because your dollar is losing value. And I look at Bitcoin the same way. Why would I want to spend my Bitcoin? That's stupid to me. So this whole thing, different states now are accepting Bitcoin for your taxes and things like that. Go ahead. If you want to give your Bitcoin away for nothing, like spend your dollars. Don't spend your Bitcoin. That's my opinion. It's a store of value. It's digital gold. It's the new form of gold. Ask a 30-year-old or a 25-year-old if they're buying Bitcoin or gold. They're buying Bitcoin. And I know gold's been performing well, and I'm not saying you can't hold gold too. Gold's great. It's precious metal. It's intrinsic, all of that, it's physical. People like that, whatever. I'm not one that even thinks you have to, pick. A lot of times they pit Bitcoin against gold. It's like, are you a gold or are you a Bitcoin guy? It's like, own both. Own both. It's the same thing in crypto. Like, I hate that. Like, are you an Ethereum guy or a Solana guy or a Cardano guy? I own all three. I don't know. I mean, anybody think of that? Like, yeah. Yeah, we're at 82K right now. This is an actual support line for Bitcoin. If we can't hold 82K though, we're probably going down to 77 again, right? But I think you're right. I could see us kind of hovering here throughout the weekend and waiting to see what tariffs are going to bring next week. I agree. I agree with that. Next Wednesday is when Trump will, talk about the whole tariff stuff. Travis, the red day is because everybody's on edge right now with what Trump's going to do with tariffs. That's it. I mean, uncertainty. Tariffs are negotiable, 100%. And we'll see. I mean, how bad are things really going to be? We'll see. I mean, I think it's going to depend from country to country what this looks like. Trump even said that. Some countries are going to be hit harder than others. It all depends on their past relationships. But I know one thing. If you actually look into this, and I did a little bit, the United States has been getting ramrodded when it comes to, imports and exports for a really long time. And so, again, playing the long game here, this is going to bring back America. It's going to put money back in the pockets of Americans, jobs back here. That provides liquidity for Americans to invest in crypto, to invest in the stock market. So I want to watch this thing play out because I think eventually it's going to be very good. It's going to be very good. Short term, there's going to be a lot of volatility, a lot of uncertainty. But I'll buy during those times. So. Aren't you tired of standing? No, I can stand all day, man. I can stand here all day. I can stand here all day. I'll take a few more questions here, and then we'll close up shop. I do got to make some videos and stuff. But I'll take a few more. There's a lot going on besides tariffs in our world. Yeah, for sure. I mean, inflation is a big problem. Inflation is a big concern. You know, we've been dealing with inflation, all that money that they printed for, you know, during COVID. Yeah, it comes back to rear its head. You know what I mean? No walking machine today? Nah, bro. Well, I just got back from the gym. So I got my workout in over there. I'm gonna go hit my heavy bag out in the garage here in a little bit, and then I'm gonna go play pickleball here in a little bit too. What do you think about Plume? I like Plume. I just mentioned that earlier on in the stream. I do like Plume. Oh, hold on, guys. Pepe losing a zero. I think eventually, but it needs Ethereum. We talked about that earlier. How much XRP is a good hold for long term? It really depends on your overall portfolio. There's not a number. There's not like a specific number. Nobody knows. If anybody says they do, they're lying. What do you think about Pepe and Doge? Doge is different because it's proof of work. But I was accumulating under 10 cents. So right now I'm just kind of staying pat. I think it's, what is it, at 17 cents right now on the dip? I don't hate it. I don't think it's going anywhere. When retail comes back, they're going to go back to like the trusted, you know, places. And Doge is definitely one of them. Let's see. You really helped me see the truth on XRP. Thanks. Took 1,500 into 40,000. Dude, that's dope. Is 500 XRP good? There's not a number, man. It's you know, however much you can get and want to get based on your overall portfolio, create a plan to take profits at certain levels and, you know, rinse and repeat. That's it, man. RWAs, I agree, Bill. I'm there with you, bro. I'm right there with you. All right, guys, I thank you. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. Good stream. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to make some videos and stuff too, so we'll have some more content out here on the channel throughout the day, so be on the lookout for that. And just stay in there. Hang in there, man. You know, I had to come on here and go on a rant because too many people, it was frustrating, man. Too many people were freaking out, so I had to come on here and talk with y'all for a little bit. So appreciate you guys. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you, man. David, thank you. Cornstar, appreciate you. Jesse, I don't own any Flare, man, but I've heard about it. JH, appreciate you, man. Thank you. All right, y'all. We'll see you guys in the next one. We'll see you guys in a couple of videos here. Thanks, Travis. Appreciate you, man. Thanks, Brent.